Do you ever find yourself in those quiet, aching moments, wondering what the point of all this pain really is? When your heart feels heavy or life just seems overwhelmingly hard, it's so natural to ask, why? Why do we have to suffer? It's a question that echoes through human history, whispered in times of sorrow and cried out in moments of despair. And if you're feeling that way, please know you're not alone in asking, and you're certainly not alone in feeling the weight of it. Today, I wanted to sit with this question, not to offer easy answers because there often aren't any, but to explore a gentle way of looking at suffering that might bring a little comfort, a little understanding. There's a perspective, beautifully illuminated by the work of Carl Jung, that suggests our pain, as bewildering and unwanted as it is, might hold a sacred purpose. It whispers that perhaps suffering isn't just a random affliction, but can be a profound catalyst, a deeply personal invitation to grow, to find new meaning, and to expand our very understanding of ourselves and life. It sounds like a big idea, doesn't it? Especially when you're right in the middle of the storm. And it's so important to say, this isn't about pretending pain isn't real or that it doesn't hurt. It does. Terribly, sometimes. But what if, alongside the hurt, there's also a quiet invitation? Jung's work often points to this idea that life's challenges, even the most painful ones, are part of our journey towards becoming more whole, more truly ourselves. Think about it for a moment. When does deep change often happen in our lives? It's rarely when everything is comfortable and easy. More often, it's when we're faced with something that stops us in our tracks. Pain has a way of doing that, doesn't it? It can strip away the superficial, the things we thought mattered, and leave us with what is raw and real. And in that raw, real place, a different kind of seeing can begin. It's an invitation to look inward, perhaps to parts of ourselves we've neglected, or to questions about life we've been too busy to ask. Jung had this sense that our psyche, our inner world, is always striving for balance and wholeness, a journey he called individuation. And sometimes, suffering can be like a signal, a message from that deeper part of us, the self, nudging us towards something we need to see, something we need to integrate, something we need to heal. It's not a punishment, but perhaps a difficult yet ultimately loving call to awaken more fully to who we are. Carl Jung once shared a profound thought. The greatest and most important problems of life are all fundamentally insoluble. They can never be solved, but only outgrown. And what this might mean for us when we're in the midst of pain is that some difficulties aren't puzzles to be quickly fixed, but experiences that ask us to grow larger, to expand our hearts and minds until the problem itself feels different, or simply becomes a part of a much bigger picture of who we are becoming. This outgrowing, this expansion of consciousness often happens right in the crucible of our struggles. It's where we find strengths we didn't know we had, and a depth of compassion we might not otherwise discovered. It's a bit like those old stories of alchemists who sought to transform common lead into precious gold. Our pain, our struggles can feel like that heavy, dull lead. It weighs us down. But if we approach it with courage, with gentle awareness, with a willingness to sit with the discomfort and see what it's trying to show us, something truly precious can be formed. That lead can slowly, painstakingly transform into the gold of deeper wisdom, a stronger heart, a more compassionate understanding of ourselves and the shared human experience. This transformation doesn't erase the memory of the pain, but it integrates it, making it part of a richer, more resilient self. So, when suffering visits, as it does for all of us in different ways and at different times, perhaps we can hold a little space for this idea that amidst the unquestionable difficulty, there might also be a hidden gift, a sacred purpose. It could be the very thing that pushes us to connect more deeply with our inner truth, to shed what no longer serves us, and to step more fully into the unique, unfolding story of our lives. It might be the catalyst for uncovering a layer of meaning that makes everything feel more vibrant, more purposeful, even amidst the shadows. This perspective doesn't make the suffering disappear, but it can change our relationship with it. It can shift it from being a source of bitterness or despair to being, perhaps, a stern but ultimately compassionate teacher. It allows us to meet our pain with a little more curiosity, a little more gentleness towards ourselves, trusting that even in the darkest valleys, something in us is striving towards the light, towards wholeness. It's about recognizing that our wounds can become our wisdom. The cracks can be where the light gets in, illuminating our path forward in ways we couldn't have imagined before. The very act of navigating through our suffering, of seeking to understand it, not just endure it, is an act of profound courage and self-love. It's an expansion of who we are. Thank you for sharing this quiet moment of reflection with me. It's not an easy topic, but exploring it together, I hope, brings a little solace and a sense of shared humanity. What has suffering taught you? Or how have you found a little light in darker times? I'd be so comforted to read your experiences if you feel like sharing them below. Remember, your journey through these tough times, these moments of deep questioning, is forging something strong and beautiful within you. Be incredibly kind and gentle with your heart. Sending you warmth and courage until we meet again.